What do you think marriage taught you about yourself?
I don't know. I wasn't married for that long. I don't know if I had a lot of time to really learn anything. But no.
Oh, come on.
I don't know. I mean, and it was obviously we're talking about Drew, and it was a very unique experience, right? Because I was brand new in Los Angeles, and she'd of course been there her whole life, and so to me a lot of things were sort of hard to understand, just sort of the whole nature of being thrust into that sort of center of the show business kind of ether. So
You once called it a tornado, those 3 years.
yeah, and I had cancer at the same time, and my dad had cancer at that time, and movies coming out and shows coming out and all that stuff. So it was a lot to process. I don't know if I could really say that it was a typical marriage. So I don't know if I really learned anything about marriage so much.
Oh, come on, really? I mean, because I would have to
Well,
think
not
like
marriage as a general way you explain what a marriage
Yeah.
is. It's like I don't know if I experienced that. I experienced sort of a more of a bizarre kind of whirlwind of stuff happening all at once, which was maybe more than my young, naive kid was able to process or handle.
How about the most bizarre thing that happened during that period?
When I did the movie Charlie's Angels with Drew. That's how I met Drew. I went and did the movie Charlie's Angels. She asked me to be the movie. I did the movie.
By the way, do you think she was recruiting you for the movie because she had a crush on you, or
No, I don't
because she
think
wanted
so.
you in the? Okay.
I don't think so. I just think that the show was doing well, and she thought it'd be funny to get this goofball in the movie.
And then the better the show went, the more people wanted to kind of increase your exposure in their films.
Yeah. It was sort of the nature of I was doing a few movies, and it was kind of I'd already shot Road Trip, and then they asked me to do that, but so I remember I was hosting Saturday Night Live, okay, which seems just crazy to me. Even today, I can't believe that I got to do that. And
you were in a bathtub with Lorne Michaels, right?
In a bathtub with Lorne Michaels and Will Ferrell and Jimmy Fallon and Tina Fey and Chris Kattan and Molly Shannon and this incredible cast, right? And I'm this goofy kid on MTV in there, and just kind of completely amazed that I'm getting to do this. But I remember Charlie's Angels was coming out around the same time as I was hosting Saturday Night Live, and I remember I hosted SNL, and then the next morning, Drew and I got on a plane to London, England, where we went to the royal premiere of Charlie's Angels, and then had dinner with King Charles, at the time Prince Charles. And it's like, one day you're on Saturday Night Live, next day you're in England having dinner at St. James Palace with the future King of England, and you're thinking to yourself, this is pretty weird. This is surreal.
And you're present enough even then to realize the insanity.
Yeah, and particularly growing up Canadian, where you had the Silver Jubilee and every kid gets a silver dollar with the Queen on it, and royalty is a bigger deal here in these Commonwealth countries, right? So for me, that was probably one of the most unbelievable things, to get to hang out with Prince Charles and talk about Peter Sellers and Monty Python, and yeah, it was pretty cool.
Okay, last Drew question. Was it awkward going on the show after all those years? Because it seemed like when I was watching a clip of it, it seemed a little uncomfortable, but what do I know?
It was weird, it was pretty weird. It was cool, it was interesting. I mean, we hadn't talked in quite a few years. So she invited me on her talk show, and I came on and basically sort of reconnected with her for the first time on television, which was I thought positive. It's good to have positive energy out there, in regards to everybody. As I get older, I don't like to, have negative energy. When you're young, you go through things that don't work out. Whether it's with business or in personal life. And you can kind of walk away from it, and you can carry around negative energy your whole life, thinking, oh man, I'm mad at this person or whatever. But But I don't like to carry around negative energy like that. So it was good to be able to kind of get that out in the open. We're supportive of her show and proud of her, happy she's doing well, and it was funny way to go reconnect with her. Yeah.
Since you posted about her on social, can I ask about Amanda?
Sure. Yeah. Absolutely. Okay. Yeah.
How long have you guys been together?
It's been a couple of years. Yeah.
Okay.
She actually grew up in the same small military-based town that I lived in when I was a kid. She's from a military background in Canada, in Petawawa, where I grew up when I was a little kid before I moved to Ottawa. We went to the same elementary school, not the same year. We weren't there at the same time. She's a little bit younger than me. She's, yeah, she's. I was going to make a ridiculous joke there, but I'm not going to make a joke.
Yeah. Okay. How much younger?
No, she's not that much younger than me. She's 35 years old. So yeah. So and I'm 60. So no, what am I now? I forget. But
you said
I'm 53.
You said the 50s have been your best decade so far.
So far, yeah. I'm loving being in my 50s. Yeah, for sure.
She posted something that she'd lost like 115 pounds.
Yeah, she's got an incredible story. Yeah, she's worked as a personal trainer, and she is a very healthy, health-conscious person with her diet and with her exercise, and it was good. It's helping me actually be more health-conscious. And
your mom says she will occasionally get in your ear that, her kids, they coming. She said, I think Tom still wants him.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. I mean, I think that would be fun. I mean, it would be a great place to have kids and raise a family out here.
This
in the farm.
Would be the coolest thing ever, right?
Chasing the chickens around, and it's,
right.
It is nice to be back in Canada, kind of close to where I grew up. So I could see it would be a fun thing to do. But we'll see what happens. Yeah. I mean, I can still have kids, supposedly. I have one testicle. So I still have one. So.
But that, I mean,
still works.
That would be
like
it
the
still
coolest.
Works.
Still works. So just since you asked.